Welcome everyone again to the Gemini Lounge. A little bit about why I named my channel the Gemini Lounge. It's because I am a Gemini, but it's more about my personality. You know, I'm an optimistic person, but I'm always preparing for war or preparing for reality. And what I see going on right now in our country is there's a bitter divide happening. We've been split by cultures, we've been split by genders, we've added new things to our lexicon that most of us humans don't even understand. Yet with all of this, which I believe is corporate backed, I believe corporations have actually spent money to actually divide us, along with China. I believe China has played a huge role in splitting our country apart, because the thing about America is America cannot be defeated from outside. Similar to Rome, we can only be defeated from within. So the greatest way to destroy a country is to destroy it from within, and this is a practice that has been done for centuries of human existence. Now back to the American problem here. You know, we underestimate how great of a situation we have here in America. We have a country where you have rights, you have human rights, where you're allowed to actually practice whatever religion you choose. This is not common in the world. The idea of voting for your leaders is something that countries are still fighting to have, and yet we neglect it. Free education is something we don't take advantage of. What I see happening in the next 20 years is we're going to head towards a civil war, especially if Donald Trump doesn't win. Now, in war, you know, I see a lot of like feminism and a lot of the other isms. They feel very strong in a prosperous country, but once war starts, weak men, boss babes, or whatever you want to call yourself, they're just spoils of war. The weak men, they go out first. The women belong to whoever wins the war. We don't want to be a country where outside dynamics have control of us. Whether it's China and their communist system, they don't have the freedoms we have here, or even the opportunities to grow. You don't want to become an Islamic country where there are rules to how you're going to behave, women especially. So I feel like a lot of women are fighting for a change in our country, and they're fighting to what they think is progress, but they don't realize when that happens, you're going to need your men, and you're going to need strong men. Now, what I foresee happening in the next 20 years, so this is in our lifetime, if Trump doesn't win and we continue the practices we've been doing under this weird Democrat leadership, we're going to split into regions. The South will become a region where I think a lot of the Christians will run to. Our major cities will be filled with Marxists, communists, and all kinds of ists from all over the world that really despise what this country represents. It feels a way. Excuse me, it's very hot right now. So ultimately, we must keep the status quo for and work from within. The great thing about our Constitution is that you can change things from within, but you do not want to give up on this system and think that another system is going to treat you better than this system here. The Second Amendment. The Second Amendment was created for this moment when our government became out of control, becomes out of control. The Second Amendment wasn't made to go deer hunting or to shoot animals in the forest or even to protect your home against an intruder or a criminal. That's not the intent of the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment was strictly intended to fight against your government when your government gets out of hand. The Founding Fathers were genius men. I don't care how you feel about them. These were genius men. And they knew that absolute power corrupts absolutely. So we always had to pay attention as citizens to protect our rights. I don't know what to say, people. I think we're living in a delusion, or an illusion of the situation right now. As I pay attention to the Democratic Party and Kamala Harris, who I despise, because I think she, along with Obama, these were people that are going to usher in these last days or these end times as far as this great country. And I know there's a lot of black people and a lot of my people. They already call me a sellout because I actually respect and appreciate the greatness of how this country was founded. Not the slavery, of course, but these things, again, the Constitution can be amended. Things can change. We can work within the system to change it. The genius is the system. A lot of people, when I watch the Olympics and I'm seeing they're disrespecting Christianity, they're promoting the flag population over everyone else, a population that is a very small percent. And keep in mind, man, I don't have no problem. I'm from New York City, man. I grew up around the flag population before it was cool. Okay, I don't have a problem. But the point is, you can't push your ideology that is from a very small percentage onto the majority. The media, corporations, they have used this tool to actually, again, split us up as a country. I think we need to prepare. As I watch again, Kamala Harris use identity, politics. This woman was awful. She actually, for black people who are claiming her for no other reason than her skin is brown, this is a woman who actually made a career off of locking up black men in California to help pay for forest fires or to help alleviate California's forest fire problems. This is a woman that kept a man on death row until the courts had to overturn it. This is a woman that's an open Marxist. And let me tell you, man, I've studied Marxism, I've studied communism and socialism. These things have never worked. And they think that it will work now because you'll use capitalist money to actually supply the ideology or to fund the ideology of communism. Communism has never worked. And what it ultimately ends up being is a group of people in power who will crush those who disagree with them. Everything this country is against. So many black people, we're upset with our history. But again, you've been taught the wrong history. I'm going to go into more of how great our history is in America, man. It was so many great men, starting with the Frederick Douglasses, going on to the, oh God, I can't believe I'm brain freezing right now. I got a whole list of them. The first founding black founder of the AME Church. I mean, Richard Allen. I forget my other great black leader that was actually the counter to Frederick Douglass. But these were genius men that wanted to use the system. Even Marcus Garvey, who was very much against a lot of the treatment of black people. He never wanted to break away from Christianity. He just wanted his place in it, like a lot of our founding fathers. We don't understand that we have to actually carry our own burden with freedom. Frederick Douglass said, freedom is a lot harder than slavery because you actually have to carry your own burden. You actually have the freedom to succeed or fail. There's no excuse. So freedom is a heavy bag to carry. And in my opinion, many of our people have dropped the bag. Instead of working hard in school, we've complained about school not fitting us. Yet I watch Asians and I watch Indians and people who can't even speak our language able to come in and master a lot of our curriculum and go on to be doctors and lawyers. And no doubt we do that too. But we have this population of us, this like 80% of us, who for some reason, and I have my theories on that, and believe me, the American government is definitely a part of that, but we can overcome these things. So I will talk more about this later. Until then, prepare.